Hey, took a little while. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Welcome. How are folks? Hey, Monkey Butler Labs and RP, what is that? RB Heebie-Jeebies. There we are. Maddie and Jason, Derek, Fabrico. Now, is this Hector or Shammy or... Hey, Donald. Hey, Mitchell. Hey, Tuxedo. Hey, Bill. Hey, Daniel and Aryu's nephew. And Tuxedo and Steven. And Sir McSquishy. Now, Sir McSquishy said something earlier that I thought was really funny. They said that they can't wait to print with Pex Pepper hot sauce that's on the way to them. And I'm sorry, but my first thought was Pex Pepper hot sauce may cause your extrusions to be a bit runny. Just saying. Yes, sorry. Hey, James. Who else do we have? Shammy's been outed. Hey, Poity. Hey, Panzercadden, Bear Cool, and Chris. Who else? A couple of Steves, and a Keith, and a Doom. That's Shammy. Cool. Hey, Kittrell. Hey, Alvaro. Owen. Okay. I did go there. I went there in a DM to Garrett, and he convinced me that I needed to say that out loud. So I'm going to blame Garrett. Today it's blame Garrett, not blame Pooch. Hey, little brat. Hey, Peter. Don't forget the token Aussie. Nice. Hi, Phil and Andrew and Norden. Antstar. What modifications are you doing this time? We are continuing the same ones. We are all biological 3D printers. Although I guess you really should say that you're extruding plastic in an orderly fashion here. You're pretty skilled if you can extrude in an orderly fashion. Okay, moving on. Last week, I felt a little disjointed on stream. I honestly, I wasn't as prepared as I wanted to be. I thought it would be fine, but it turns out that organizing a new controller layout on the fly can be tough. We've done it many times, but it can be tough. So I did a lot. Yes, please move on. Yes, of course. I'll show you what I did off stream, off camera. So let's just go here. There's lots of stuff going on around here, but we're gonna flip this guy over. Hey, Tie Guy. Dark 3D Dimension. Uh-oh, that's something. Oh, that's just that. Okay, so this was in the thumbnail. Hey, John and Chris. Hey, Rod. Hey, Truggy. Okay. Hey, Voron Noob. So this is what I did. I did this mostly Sunday. So basic, just cleanup. Just cleanup. And we on stream last Tuesday, we had the breakout board for the Nitehawk on this side. And I realized that if I moved it over here, I was going to eliminate my USB connection issues. And Derek, thanks for the gifted memberships. I started something, didn't I? Hey, Bob, welcome. This was a better spot. Now, the other major change I made that I said I wasn't going to do is, if you can see down in there, that right there is the Nitehawk umbilical, and I did pass it through the corner of the deck here. So it wraps around here and it's tied along the extrusion walls. It comes under here and it goes across here in a very short service loop into here. So that turned out, I think that turned out pretty good. We get in here a little closer, and I am doing a good job lately of bumping my overhead camera. Sorry about that. Hey, Polar Ted. Hey, Biney. Hey, Brian. And Mike. So, did a lot of labeling. So we have Z0, 1, 2, and 3. We have our bed thermistor, the two fans here, I did have these fans set up here. They just both blow in. The idea is just to create turbulence down here and move air. So let's see. Is it kosher to use direct drive with Voron Legacy? I'd go for as light of a tool head as you can, I think, just because of the rods. But I'm planning on it at some point. Hey, Dennis and Ricky. Okay, so then I just kind of organized wires in here. Seemed to turn out pretty well. Everything is hooked up except I need to do my SSR control from the bed, and we need to do the A and B steppers. Which motors are you using for 48 volts? They're the speedy powers from LDO. Speaking of which, thanks to Polymaker, we're doing a filament giveaway, the same as every stream. Thanks to LDO, I had promised, and LDO had promised during the Switchwire build series that there would be, I was going to give away 3 in that build series, but since they weren't quite ready, I gave away 1, and then I think I gave away 1. And then 2 more we're going to give away during this series. So we're going to give away 1 tonight. So we're going to give away one of these Nitehawk Stealth Burner Toolhead boards to be shipped in early April. So that's a month away. One of those. And then Garrett here wants to get some of the new Salsa Verde sauce out. So a bottle of that. And the links are in the description. Anytime I have multiple giveaways, the links will be in the description and just a reminder in the pin post. So this is all hooked up. New stepper wires. I cleaned up the AC wiring quite a bit. You can see it over here. Now, at first glance, it doesn't look, but if you look at it from other angles, it is a whole lot cleaner than it was. A lot of length of wires removed. So another quick note is Steve Builds at Pex Pepper's website gives you 20% off. Time of the giveaway. Giveaway is at the 2-hour mark on the Tuesday streams at 7 p.m. my time, which is 2 hours from now. So, hey Scott, welcome. So I'll be sitting right here for a few hours. Nice. No burritos? No going off to get food. So today's plan is, because I've got this electronics bay all nice and set up, we're not going to finish wiring, but we are going to configure the Leviathan and configure the setup Leviathan and Nitehawk, along with any other bits that we can make progress on. So this is not an orderly, this is an existing printer. So it's basically hitting the parts of the build that I'm ready for. Making dinner after patching is done. So, the time change has been fine in the morning, actually. I've been staying up too late, but I've been getting up okay. So, are you going to do 29 shuffles? Because it's my 29th. 29. Is this your birthday, Dark? Happy birthday. Everybody can say happy birthday to Dark Third Dimension. Especially the new salsa verde. I'm actually in the kitchen now mixing up muerte flakes. Okay. What do I want to do next? We need to get the Nitehawk at least mounted to the tool head and the extension cable plugged in. None of the other stuff's going to get plugged in yet. I didn't get a chance to build Stealth Burner. I did build the front piece. This is all built. So, and that's pretty clean, I think. Turned out good. So, I need to extend the wires. This is a 60-watt Revo heater core that I'm going to put on here. And if you remember, we're going to run a 0.6 high flow obsidian. Yeah, high flow obsidian nozzle on it. So that should But what LEDs? I soldered those up myself. So let's see. What fans do you go with for stealth burner? GDX time axial and sun and blower. I have a GDX time axial and a the LDO blower. Come on, where? My windows are being dumb. Wow. There we go. Now I can see. Do you have a preference for bearing types on the fans on the stealth burner? Aside from, I think, staying away from sleeve bearings, I've mostly been running ball bearing stuff, and I've not had to replace any stealth burner fans. I have had to replace these guys. One of these is actually a sleeve bearing, and one of them is a ball bearing. I saw blue and my mind went to sun on. Yeah, that's the color that the LDO is doing for their labels as well. So let's turn this back over. Really, in terms of getting stuff flashed, I don't think there's any other wiring I have to do under here. The boards are getting power. We got 48 volts going to the 5160s for A and B, and 24 volts for the rest of the board, and then 24 volts for the breakout board. For chassis fans, I have to get sleeve just for noise considerations. Are they quieter? That's why I said I think, because I that was in the back of my mind that they might be. Okay. So for here, we have Galileo 2, and I already have the umbilical here, just sitting here as a kind of a placeholder. For purposes of flashing this, I'm gonna cut these zip ties and just plug into the Nitehawk, but I am gonna attach the Nitehawk to the side of Galileo 2, just so we have it secured and in a spot. What kind of flow rate do you expect to achieve with that nozzle? That's a good question. I'm not sure. Hey, Elmas. 6mm ball bearing fans I found were all hell screaming server room nightmare. Well, I run mine at like 30%. Okay. So, what do we got? 69th birthday was last Monday. Happy birthday, Ricky. There, yeah. Oh. Messy. For those that weren't around earlier too, the Phoenix has pushed plastic in an orderly fashion, even. Okay. So the Nitehawk Toolhead board, I had already, it's a two-piece board, so I'd already taken this piece and installed it in the stealth burner front. Okay. I found an umbilical mount for Galileo 2 on printables, allows you to use the rear chain. Oh, that's good. That's there. And then the other piece is a typical RP 2040 boot and reset buttons, which we'll use during flashing. Heater, thermistor, probe, and then end stop and other. I think there's a couple of outputs here and 5 volts and ground. And then this is a chamber thermistor port here. And then our power and can, high and low. So this is going to go, I'm just gonna push my Opto Tap harness out of the way. So there is no little spacer. When you're using Galileo 2, you don't need a spacer. That's really wanting to focus. Let's see if I can get down here. Maybe we can get this down there. Okay. Managed to find, oh, I did say, I think I spelled it N-I-G-H-T, didn't I? What did I spell it on the, I did. Is it Nitehawk? Let me fix that. N-I-T-E. N-I-T-E. And let me get this right. There we go. One more spot. Maybe two more spots. I spelled Nitehawk wrong. That good? It's even in the link. I should have saw that. Okay. I got the CYB display fully working with VNC remote clipper screen. Nice. I just got one of those. So Double T sent me some different spacers for the upcoming 9mm Trident setup. I'm going to be using the one that I got from Fabrico, and in that same box he included also one of those little screens, so I get to play with one of those. Let's see. Press me in. Do I have to strikes again? Do I have to re-register now? Oh no, I just changed some spelling. That's all. I got the CYB display. Happy with Nitehawk. Finished a 28-hour test print yesterday. Yeah, I'm running a Nitehawk on my gray Trident right now, and it's been on there for a very long time. I haven't had any trouble. So what size are the screws here? One of those is longer than the others. I think it's probably this. Little late, but well fed. Hey, Bearded Bucket. Okay, I want to look at this, see if there are any jumpers that I need to set. And we're going to go off to the documentation on it as well, just to start following that. I just wanted to get it mounted. Hey, Maker Viking. Yeah, I don't see any jumpers to set. Looks like there is a few extra pins here. Looks like maybe FS filament sensor, maybe. SU, I don't know what that is. A few things there, but nothing for us to set. Actually, I want to use a button head for this. It comes with screws. I have all stainless screws on this build, so I've been swapping out for my hardware. Trying to do the, I can't really easily get in here without getting my head in the way. Hey, Mago one. Oh, that's too long. I should actually look at what screw goes in here. What do we got here? PF Dennis, thanks for gifted memberships. Hey, Zombie. 2.4, my favorite printer design. Where's that? What kind of mod? What kind of mod tools can I use here? Let's see. Put in timeout. Remove, report. Should the other have a heat set? Only see one. The other heat set is deeper within the assembly. It's in the little idler holder that's inside Galileo 2. So the tool, if you don't run a tool head board, you still run a screw there to hold that in place. It's just that if you're on a tool head board, then you run the screw through. Use I think maybe a 6mm if you're not running a tool head board, and an 8 if you do. Hey, Obi-Wan. I'll eat a jelly bean for your troubles. It's no good if we can't see it. I have to bring you on as a guest sometime. Okay, I don't want to deal with figuring out the exact routing of my umbilical yet, so I'm just going to undo these, and then we will plug this guy into the back. That just goes right there. Now let's go and look at some documentation. Read the instructions. Yeah, I'm already at the LDO Motion site. Let's go home. We might fumble around for the right instructions, but we are going to go to LDOmotion.com. Let's just paste this in. Got all the stuff all around here. So many projects going at once. Causing trouble today by wanting to build my Prusa with ASA parts. I'm printing ASA parts for my Prusa. Why is that trouble? Okay, so that's the LDO Motion site. Hey Liz, welcome. If we scroll down here, we've got stuff. Let's go up here to guides. Maybe? I'm guessing it's here. So we have, let's start here. It looks like they don't have, is this it? No, that's that. I don't see Nitehawk here yet. So we'll go over to their other stuff, but let's go to the Leviathan because that's what we're going to be starting with anyway. So this guide will walk you through common firmware configurations. Flashing Leviathan with the Leviathan. Oh, we got a typo. Leviathan. There's ladies in the house. What are we talking about? What? No more extrusion jokes. There's a new Z and Z tradition. Once a month after we finish a show, one of us gets sick. Ew. Okay, let's plug this thing in. Get enough cable here. Let's plug this in soon. That's off, so I can plug that in. Hey, Ronald. Overview and prep. So wiring diagram and drawing. So I have our high volt stepper. I have voltage. I don't think I did anything. Everything's, let me just double check. And maybe we'll do this so we can at least, we can get a view of either, depending on what camera I'm looking at. Oh. Okay. Just double checking polarities and everything. Ground, neutral, live. All that stuff's there. Positive, negative, live, neutral. Okay. Just double checking. Hey, Davis. Hey, David. Okay. So to try, I've heard good things. Let's click here. Pin assignments. Well, we'll probably need to refer to this when we actually configure it. Voltage selection. Remove all the jumpers used for voltage selection when using passive tool head boards that connect using umbilical cables, 14-pin connectors. Check if the 24-volt supply is shared between the fan, hot end, and probe. If so, all shared components must be set to 24 volts. Mixing voltage will permanently damage the controller and attached components. I don't think, let me just double check what I've got plugged in here for jumpers. So what do we have here? Voltage selection jumpers. Let's see if I can tell what this is. They're all set to 24 volts right now. All of my fans in here are 24 volts. And the only fans I have plugged in are the chassis fans. Okay. We mounted the Raspberry Pi. So we did some of this on a previous stream. Raspberry Pi here, USB interface we plugged in. Some ports of the Raspberry Pi may not be usable due to interference with Leviathan ports. And power for the Raspberry Pi is supplied by that GPIO adapter that we plugged in on a previous stream. Required, this guide assumes. So I already have the Pi flashed. So we're going to use the existing, and we may have to update it. And we may really have to update it. Host configuration CAN bus. We're not using CAN bus in this build. It is all USB. Host configuration UART. So you could communicate with the Leviathan controller over UART to the Pi. We're not doing that either, although it is a valid configuration for this setup. It is not a valid configuration if you want to do CAN. If you want to do the CAN, the USB to CAN bridge, you don't want to use UART between the Pi and the Leviathan. So Catapult is the recommended bootloader for Leviathan. The USB interface should be used for both USB and CAN. After flashing is complete, you'll be able to activate the bootloader by quickly pressing the SW1 button twice. We have live to the RPi during the process. All other USB device should be disconnected. I will, for now, disconnect my Toolhead, and I'm going to disconnect this USB plug down here in the breakout board. So let's turn it on. Let's turn it on. Since first power up with new wiring, we got to get it on camera, right? Are we ready? I hope this is okay. Okay. We have got lights and no smoke. That's good. So going USB, you still need power, right? Or is there some flashy 100-watt cable? It does. It gets power. This little board is basically injecting 24 volts onto the umbilical cord. The USB cable is only for the data signals going back to the Pi. Red lights, that can't be good. Always a good sign when you don't let the magic smoke out. Yep. So this is powered on. So let's switch over here, and we should be able to just get to here. I've got oh, that's my gray trident. This is V2 green. Super creative name, and it's coming up. So this is my green V2. As of this morning, still not fixed. Hopefully we'll fix today. Get the day off so boss gets to deal with it. Okay, this machine is running fluid, so we will be leaving that. There are it's been a while since I've printed on this. So let's go. It's into system. Nope. Here we are. Configuration, maybe? That's our configuration files. This is all old versions of stuff. So let's maybe settings. There we are. Let's check for updates. We may be spending half the stream today troubleshooting updating issues. Yep. Peter, I saw that. How can you neglect your kids like that? That is going to do that. Moonraker wants to recover. It's seasoned. Exactly. We'll probably need to step this up in versions. We are on Fluid 1.2, Clipper 0.10. Old clipper screen. Oh, I don't have the clipper screen plugged in. Whatever. And I need to get rid of this Z calibration. Windraker has to be recovered. Is this? No, it's checking. So let's look at our history here. Where's our history? We have about 1,200 hours of print time on it. Looks like. A little over 1,200 hours of print time. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see where we're at here. Is this done? Okay, so it's not broken. So I'm not super thrilled with doing an update all. I think I want to step through this just so I can look at each one if it succeeds or fails. Hey, Diogo. Should do OS packages first. Yeah, it's not bad. That would have been a good idea. I thought about that briefly and I realized there was 182 of them. Stream walking us through the entire army of printers. One day I'm hoping to have enough of them printing to where we can basically get my full bench in the other garage, all of them printing at once. I don't know if that's possible though. Is this the, let's see what this is doing at the bottom. Okay, it's still moving. You'll be flashing the MCU with the new Clipper update. Oh yeah, the MCU is fresh. So we're starting over on the MCU. It's just the Pi has been around for a very long time. Has Fluid caught up to main cell functionality wise yet? I don't know. I don't, well, and I don't even know if I would classify that as caught up functionality wise. I know there's always been differences between them, but I don't, as far as the stuff I care about, they've always seemed to be pretty equivalent, just some quirks in either direction in the UI. Got 2 of 3 printing, does that count? It's a good percentage. At least compared to what I have. I don't think I have that percentage running. Hopefully this isn't the whole stream is waiting for updates, because I didn't think about this, but I also didn't want to power it up off stream. This might be doing a bunch of prerequisites, which might end up being part of the OS packages. Because I'm seeing Python packages and stuff. I know that Fluid lost its maintainer a couple of times. Not sure if they're back to being active yet. Oh, update's finished. See if this comes back up. Reconnect. Oh, fun. There we go. Okay. Let's go down here and let's do this OS packages. As painful as it might be. While that does that, it's one of those things RPi 5 would be so nice for. About 15. I need to do lots of changes. An Orca slicer to get a rated print for my 2.4. While it's doing that, I need to go grab a couple of prints because I might as well. I don't even know if we'll get to installing them, but they are done. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Main cell and fluid has been that fluid doesn't have a 3D G code viewer, only 2D. Does fluid now have exclude object? I thought I saw someone mention something about exclude object. That was DJ Bill. That was DJ Natty that clipped that for me. Yes, it does. Good, because I'm actually using that now. Goodrith, hi. This is going to be a while. While this works, why don't I show you what I modeled I modeled between last night, starting at about 9, and after work today, I modeled a few things that we get to try for the first time. So let's do this. I'll keep an eye on the screen, and it's okay. It can sit here and run. So I modeled this piece last night, and I edited the one that Heart K did. This was this. So this went across here. You look at the G-code preview pane and the objects are shown there in green. Click one and it turns red. Oh, okay. So I had originally planned on using the PG7 glands for the umbilical. I dropped that idea, but I still wanted some sort of cover for this A drive stuff. So I didn't really want to cover up access to that pulley, so I remodeled this last night. Not super thrilled with it. Let's see if we can get in here. There we are. That'll be good enough. So we're going to try something different. So I just remixed that. So I took a lot of inspiration from Heart K on the umbilical setup for this, because we are going to run just a loop here for the Z. So I took some inspiration from that and some stuff that RCF is doing. So today after work, after I got home, about 30 minutes before stream, I modeled this instead. And I'm hoping, this is the very first time it's going on the printer, I'm hoping it fits right there. So. So that goes there, just as a little appearance cover. And then you just put a fastener. Why not just mirror the B mount? You can't just mirror it. And it would be very easy to remodel this piece. And that focus is terrible, but you can see that there now. It would be very easy to remodel this piece to look like the other one, to mirror the other. I don't want to reprint this. This is all later. This is all post gantry setup modifications. So all this is to just kind of cover up that gap. And I know the focus is horrid, but I'm pretty pleased with that for a first try thing. So the piece that you notice to the side of it is part of, and let's just bring this up here. Wow, the white balance on that is awful. So this is a revised version of that. I needed to make the zip tie holes larger, but this basically just puts a spot underneath the gantry that I can zip tie the AB stepper wires to. So it's still updating. So why don't I do this? Why don't I do this? Break this camera out and get a better look here. And this is not going to work because this was unplugged for a moment. So bear with me. I'll be right back. See, this is the last view it had. But if I deactivate it and reactivate it, we are back in the present. Oh, that's fine. So this thing goes on here, and it's still updating. So this pops off of there. Exclude object, you do need at least some proof to put oh yeah, I've got that in other printers. I just wanted to make sure I could do it on this one. So this uses the same little piece back here. And then that's fine. The new, what's that? This goes up in here. That just bolts in right there. Now, this has a couple of zip ties, and then it has a gap here, so I can take my wires along here and then sneak them out right between the two printed parts, and then they'll come back in and do the loop here. So I'm not gonna put all of that together, but you get the idea of how that's gonna work. So that's not bad. The only reason this was 2 prints was because I didn't get the zip tie holes large enough on the other one. I was trying to, I don't know what I was trying to do. So we're going to try that, see how it works in practice. The other thing I did, the last thing, and where is it? So I need a mount for the bottom side. So it's still updating. What I really need to do is unplug this while I'm moving it around, right? There we go. That's perfect. So I need a mount for here. So the idea is I'm gonna have some sleeve here. This is gonna go here, and this is gonna come down here, and then it's gonna sneak into that hole there. Okay? So, and this is inspired by Hart K doing this on his V2, and RCF had done a version of it that I'm going to use some parts from too. But in order to cover all this up, I modeled this last night. Just a moment. Just a moment. Son needed the truck keys, which were in my pocket. So I modeled this last night. So this goes right into there and just bolts down in the back. It is open in the back, so I can get to the zip tie that holds this in. It's just a, let's go ahead and put that in. M5 by 10 button head. I'll have to go find a stainless one, but what if it snags? It shouldn't snag. So this goes in there. It should go right like that. And it is, it could be a little wider for my setup here, but I did model it to only be 0.5 millimeter smaller than the technical, the actual width here. But that goes there, and then the idea is the gantry umbilical will go in here, get zip tied right there, and get zip tied up here. And that'll be just like that. What PCB are you using for the tool head? The Nitehawk. Nitehawk, LDO Nitehawk tool head. So, oh, that finished. Okay, I don't want to waste a bunch of time, or don't want to leave a lot of gaps here because this could still take a little bit. So that finished. Then let's get Clipper updated. When its thing. How well does that work from functionality, Nitehawk? It works good. Have had no problems with it. Past a very early version that would didn't like to restart back up after restarting, firmware restarts. But that's a RP 2040 thing, not necessarily a Nitehawk thing. RP 2030s have had and can have problems with that. But I've been running it on a printer for a very long time. I will share any of the STLs. It's a matter of getting them cleaned up enough where I feel like they're shareable. And sometimes I need reminded, so people shouldn't feel bad about reminding me. Did I level the bed? Is that what we're talking about? Did we get the catchphrase? Have you tried leveling your bed? Yep. I missed it at first, but I see it now. Oh, finish. Okay. Then I guess let's get fluid updated. There is a Poke Steve channel on my Discord. Discord links in the description. The like button's right below the videos. We're at 88 likes right now with 230 people here. We need to hit 200 by giveaway time, which is an hour and 20 minutes. Holy moly. These streams are so short. We may be getting Leviathan Flash today and Nitehawk tomorrow. I don't know. They're so short. I will learn how to make these more efficient, because they can't really be longer. Tomorrow what? Tomorrow's another stream. Did I say tomorrow? I didn't mean tomorrow. Tried it. There you go, zombie. Thanks for being a member. Did you dry your filament? What build are you going to use Marlin again? The Rook. The Rook is going to get Marlin. I did say tomorrow. The wires get crossed up here. It happens often. So this was an RPi update stream, apparently. I mean, I showed some new parts and pieces. While that's updating, this is another part of the equation, is this little shield. That's going to bolt into the front of the gantry here. And all it really does is ensure that this wire doesn't fall into the build area. So that just bolts right there, and it'll kind of, I think it'll just go in the center back there. So how's a Marlin V0 going? I don't have a Marlin V0. I have a RepRap firmware V0. Now this I feel like we are going to fail, because I bet you the download location has changed. So we have to wait for this to time out. You're just a young man. Wait till you get my age and the wires have just disconnected. Oh, I am afraid, Bill. I am afraid. If my wires get crossed this much right now, I don't want to think about it. I had a Marlin V0. You can do a Marlin V2. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is going to fail. It just needs to finish timing out. So while this is timing out, let's see if we can figure out where it should be pointing to. Let's just search for fluid docs. There we go. docs.fluid.xyz. So if we go to, let's try installation, authorization, config, updates. Here's where we want automated updates. Fluid allows you to update all its components in an automated way. Should be Clipper, Moonraker, Fluid, and then other clients. It's their recommended update order. I don't use Kiao. Nothing against Kiao. I like to do the manual processes. Great thing for you is the new meds will be coming in the next couple of decades. That is my saving grace, right? You give Fluid a try one day. Moonraker, please hear. In order for this feature to be enabled, you need to configure Moonraker update plugin. Please see here for the Moonraker configuration docs. And then down here is the bit that we want. Update Manager Fluid. This repo is the important part, and it's Fluid Core Fluid. I wonder, has this timed out yet? Oh, it says finished. It didn't give us any status. Let's finish. It didn't update there. Let's go to the config, and they are in the wrong spot. So we're gonna have to fix that. This is gonna be fun. Let's see. What are we gonna do? Because a lot has changed in like config file paths, but I'd like to see if we can fix it. Let's refresh this. Let's see what happens. I'm not gonna run mainsail on here. This is my fluid box. Oh, we're talking, okay, we gotta vote. Fluid user or mainsail. This is very old, Derek. It is. This is probably not gonna work. Am I, and can I get away with just doing, let's do a reboot. Let's just see what happens. What's the worst thing that can happen? I honestly wasn't expecting this, but I still would rather be not expecting this than last stream, because this is a little more, there's a path forward here. Last stream working on the wiring was about 20 paths going any direction I could take it. Okay, let's see if this comes up. Get to config files, no. Okay, so at its basic, things are in the wrong spot, right? The new version of Moonraker, we go to the Moonraker docs. Let's look at, go to configuration. Okay. This document describes Moonraker's full configuration. By default, Moonraker loads the configuration file from Moonraker conf. However, pre-built images such as mainsail OS and FluidPy configure Moonraker to load the configuration from printer data config. Let's bring up here and let's do an, I have it here. New site. To green local. I just want to browse. Should I buy the Nitehawk for 40 bucks plus shipping? Nitehawks for $40 seems really good. Let's save. Okay. So this should be in Pi printer data. We don't. We have probably a Clipper config, and here are our things. But should we, how do we, can I just create a printer data folder? Move this stuff over. Did that actually show as I was typing it? I sure hope not. It doesn't matter. It's the only place I use it. I can just change it. Where's printer data? Oh, it's down here. Yep. Okay. So here and config. So this is empty. So, clipper config. Can I copy it through here and will the permissions be okay? I couldn't alphabet apparently. I couldn't alphabet. So I'm gonna try just going here because a regular copy isn't going to hurt anything. I'm just gonna do it in here. Nope, yeah. Printer data config. Paste. And target remote path. Okay. Current session does not support direct duplication of remote files. A separate shell session may be opened. Process. Sure. There we go. So let's look at that Moonraker config file and see where, ooh, that is, where was fluid pointing to? Can I zoom in here? Zoom? That's find. That is way too small. Fluid is not pointing to the right spot. So fluid's not yet pointing to the right spot. So let's close this. Let's do something that we can actually follow along with. And here, let's SHH pi at V2 green. There. Yes. Nope, that was wrong. Vitalli, thanks for the gifted memberships. Okay, where are we? We want to go to printer data and config and sudo nano moonraker.conf. Let's see if I typed that correctly. I did not. There we are. So we are in our Moonraker conf file, and I want to go right here, update manager. Client fluid is the wrong address. So we are going to go back here, and we want update manager type web. So really, I think the only thing is we need to change that to fluid-core. The rest of it is correct. So this should just be fluid dash core. Now there are probably other things in here that can be updated, but let's save this for now and see what happens. Reboot. You have a Moonraker directory in the Pi home. 20% off hot sauce. I just bought some last week without it. Uh-oh, Jared. Where were we? Not there. Right here. Just reconnect. Bad gateway. Reconnect. So this is a permissions issue, isn't it? It can't load the index, the HTML. Oh, there we are. It just took a little bit. Hey, we got something we didn't have before. And here's our configs. Do you have a CNC Tap version for the Mercury one? Oh, you're talking to Vitalli. Okay, we're making progress. We are making progress. So let's go back here and let's do a check for updates. That's up to date. Let's try fluid again. Let's see what happens. Is this going to work? Or are we going to have to do a fresh reinstall of fluid? Since you're running an older version, you may need to update in the Moonraker conf under the Moonraker directory in Pi Home. Caleb, the MCU errors are not a concern right now. We're trying to get the host all set up. You said there's and that's what you were trying to tell me before in the Moonraker folder. Is there a? No, that's Moonraker Pi. Is there a? I don't know what that would be. Is it done? Oh, finish. I don't think it's actually updating. If we go to the fluid, here we are. Installation, and can we do a manual install? No, sorry, updates. A manual update. Let's just do a manual update. I did. I rebooted the whole Pi. Right? Didn't I? Did I forget to reboot the Pi? Let's find out. Let's just services, restart Moonraker. This is one thing that I like about Fluid, is the confirmation when you do something like this. Let's make sure that I may not have refreshed Moonraker. So let's check for updates. This is now saying 128.1. Didn't that say 125 before? What if I say update? Yeah, it's not updating. So this means that my Moonraker config where it's getting the info is wrong. Moonraker config. Oh, here. This is part of it, right? Shouldn't this be slash printer data slash, where is that? Printer data slash config. Is that what that should say? Printer data slash config. And I don't know if any of that matters. These, oh, this guy can just go away. Try removing client inside the brackets. Update manager fluid. Oh, good call. Is that, let's see. Sorry. Here, where was the, is this, oh, not Moonraker. I'm bouncing. Automated and Moonraker config, update manager fluid. Yeah, thank you. Save and restart. Internal server error now. Reconnect. There we are. Now, all those, go back here. Can we check for updates? What happens if I update it now? Still not thrilled with it. My least favorite part of the build takes me about a week to build up the courage. back to some older streams and see how you wired my stealth burner LEDs. Yeah, I've done it a few times on stream. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna pull the manual install or update instructions. Hey, Pedro. I'm gonna pull the manual update instructions and figure out Moonraker really borked a lot of systems because the updates do a fast forward on the GitHub files and the scripts for the intermediate updates don't get run. Interesting. Forward taking its time, which seems promising. Well, it could just be timing out. If it's not able to see do anything, it'll sit there and churn away at it until it fails. Until it takes too long. So I think I'm assuming it's going to fail. I mean, it may come up and say finished or whatever, but I don't think it'll have actually done the thing. This could be FluidPy based, Pedro. It very well probably is FluidPy based. I loaded this a very long time ago when FluidPy was still valid. We are at 131 likes. Losing control of fluids. There's not a path in my file manager section. The two that were there are now commented. It might be why it's not updating now. I am on Prusa Slicer usually. I use Orca for the VZBot because that's where the profile is, and I use Orca for the Magneto X. I know you recommend using Kiao to install fluid. I don't like to use that. So when I do the next fresh fluid install, I'm gonna do manual. And I'll say it again. I have nothing against Kiao. It's a oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. I like to do things the manual process. Okay, so updates and manual update. Hey, Sean. And then I'm just gonna follow these instructions right here. Let's zoom this in. It may also be an issue with the newer builds for Clipper, Fluid, and Mainsail and the older version of PyOS. I would start thinking about totally fresh install. I know, but I don't really want to. I can always update PyOS, right? Can't I? What was I doing? I need this guy. I need to re-log in. Dead Bub. Fluid issues. See, I jinxed myself. And rm-r./star. I am a manual screwdriver kind of guy. Exactly. I am absolutely. Hey, Jack. And then we are going to paste this guy. You appreciate my stubbornness. I will learn more doing this than running a script. your config. I hope you have a backup. It shouldn't, it's not in that folder. I do have a backup. And my config is mostly invalid. I mean, I have to change pin names, but. I guess that's it. And then restart the services. Oh, I knew I've been checking for typo. Oh. Scripts from trusted sources are fine, but there can be a lot of shenanigans going on manually. You know every step. So this should, let's refresh. Ah, okay, that's good. That's good. No, it's not. It's still value at option repo does not match detected repo fluid, falling back to detected version. So this is all due to the config for Moonraker not being in the right spot, right? Not pointing to the right spot. You're saying click check for updates. It's not doing anything. So how do I point Moonraker back to the correct config? I thought we had done that. This is our Moonraker config. Oh, it's back here. This didn't save. I edited that before. Right? Cannot edit, read-only editor. Okay, let's go here. Let's go. Prove us all. Oh, what? Are we? What am I doing? Am I going against? I don't think it's where you edit. Correct, but the update manager client is still there. It didn't actually save that last time I did it. Scroll down, yep. Yeah. And it didn't do all of this, which I want to get rid of. Actually, I have to Moonraker is a bad actor and files read only. Not using limit. Okay. Will that save? It wrote. Okay. I'm just curious if this will show. Yes. So I did change things. Now I'm just going to do a reboot. Yeah, is that going to cause a problem? I was kind of ignoring the other things that I haven't updated yet, Pedro. Hey, Redacted. Oops. And that's where the confirm option gets me. Where is update manager fluid config? It might be something I need to add. Argy's nephew. Confirm her will never come back. Back up. Yeah. This is the old install, so no fluid config needed. There we are. Okay. The camera works. Now, let's go here. Make sure all this looks good. Can I edit this now? Nope. It won't let me edit. Cannot edit in read-only editor. So is this all having to do with the permissions thing that was a while back? But can I go down here? Check for updates. Well, Fluid says it's up to date now. Do you have a, can you confirm what command I need to run to fix that, Pedro? Z calibration is still showing here. Why is it still showing there? Because this hasn't refreshed. It's not actually. Bash commands, not my specialty. That's fine. If we go over here to the Moonraker config, there was a, wasn't there a, installation, configuration, the fluid directory run git remote set URL origin to point at the new location. Where was the, where's it here? Aesthetic. Here, let's do this. Policy kit, is this policy kit stuff? That's what I was trying to think of before. Some Moonraker's components require elevated privileges to perform actions. Previously, these actions could only be run. The user must grant no password sudo access. Raspberry Pi OS grants the Pi user this access by default. However, most other distros require this to be enabled. Install the policy kit permissions with the, let's try this. I don't think this is gonna hurt. It may be before policy kit is why I'm wondering if that's, Moonraker / grips. It, James, might be easier to start with a new Pi image. If you folks remember, anybody who's been here for like 2 years, I'm pretty sure that this is the printer that we were working on when I had all kinds of trouble on stream, and we powered through it and managed in the end to have a working setup. I completely understand the idea of, and now it's restarting Moonraker. I completely understand the idea of just starting over. But I think it's more useful to see if we can power through something like this. Okay, where are we at now? I think one of the things we can check to see if it's working is doing something like this. Oh, What in the world happened there? Yeah, it's not working yet. You dead, Bob? Power through to understand the root cause. And there was a lock, someone said? Yeah, it's just saying that it's locked. Is Moonraker up on port 7125? More is learned from this teachable moment. Exactly. And don't want to know, go something like colon 7125. Is that right? Ah, there we are. Hey, there we are. This is something that has come up a while back, where Moonraker did require you to enter the pseudo password. So let's see if that worked. Request failed with error. Config validation failed. You may need to manually update your installation. Mangled characters in C and V. That's right. It was copying and pasting from chat was a bad idea. And thanks, Derek. So this failed. All your files need permission. Give the printer data permissions. They're all locked. So this is failing. Is broken. Cancel that. We are able to see things. So that's good. Moonraker requires sudo access. Server, let's see. Debug logging is deprecated. File manager, option config path is deprecated. See the configuration documentation. Ooh. At here. Let's do that. There's a couple of things. We're going in a couple of different directions here, but I wanna maybe it's cheating, but how about uninstall? Yeah, that's kind of where I was going based on, what was it? This not working. That's what I was getting at about the file manager section. With sudo before. I just wonder if it would be easier to start from scratch. I'm sure it is, Rod. Let's look at installation. Is there a installing Clipper? Begin by cloning. This script will attempt to create a basic configuration. Does not exist. If you prefer to have Moonraker start with a robust configuration, you may create it now. By default, the configuration file should be located at printer data config. However, the location of the data path may be configured using the script's command line options. Time to download the configs and show us how the Raspberry Pi imager software can... I'm too stubborn for that, Jared. I'm too stubborn. I feel like I want to run... this. That right there is what we're going to run right now in Moonraker scripts. And hopefully, yeah, we're already there. Do this. ls-l. Where do you want me to do that? Pedro? And I know folks are suggesting some permissions changes, and I'm not ignoring you. I am wanting to check other things before I do something like changing permissions. Is that what you were looking for? Should also be a clue to the developers of things they can try to do to make updates smoother. It's just getting people to watch a 2 to 6 hour stream. So printer data here. This stream should also do. My JDOB, time is money and money is time. So let's go to scripts and run this and see if that cleans up anything. I know I have a Clipper config folder, but that's legacy. I'm hoping this will clean that up. Hey, 3D Protofab, thanks for being a member. Let's see if this cleans that up. You are using pip version, however is available. You should consider upgrading via the pip install upgrade. Should I update this? No point? Okay. And just reboot. I'll reboot. There we are. Breaking change coming, get ahead of it now. Hit refresh, but I'll wait for it to, there we are. Edge keeps freezing up. If he has to reimage, there won't be a point. I'd like to get it to a point where your device is authorized to access Moonraker's API. That's a good sign. I'd like to get it to a point of being able to back up the database at least. No, still locked. Still locked. But I've got stuff that's wrong. And all of this stuff is going to be wrong. That's still not doing an update. Flawless fails, make a backup just in case of the printer statistics. Could be fun to keep. You can ignore that warning in fluid update. Are the other configs read only? That's a good question. I'd imagine. Yeah. Yeah, so it's the whole folder. And is that just because I just copied those over? Hey, Dave. Is that because I just copied those over in the... Okay, so what is... I did look at the icon. What is the command to change the permissions on that printer data folder only? Aha. Aha. That's all wrong, right? So what is that? chmod. Am I going to have to sudo? 7. These are the only files that I copied over. So everything else should be whatever was default before, right? There we go. But that should have been 755, right? There we go. I don't think, here, let's find out. Let's do something else here. Let's pull this guy over. Well, that's the permissions that's on my working printer. Don't knock it. Yep. Those are files, not directories. No need to have XBit set. I used to. There was a time when I knew what that to do with that. That has been lost. So that's 644 I'm showing. So we want to go up here just to keep it consistent. And I know that's hard to read. It's hard for me to read too. Main cell.config not needed for fluid. Let's see if I was thinking that was the difference. Doesn't matter for your install. Might need to restart Moonraker. Depending on what update you're on, you might be able to click the bar at the top of the command prompt and change font size. Nope. Read, write, execute. Read, write, and execute. 4, 2, 1. Files are still locked. Oh, they're right here. Someone was trying to tell me that the lock is here, and I didn't even see that. So I think that might have been Jared. If printer data folder doesn't have permission, it will not allow fluid to look inside the folder. That's what you were telling me. Okay, Pedro. I think multiple people were probably yelling at their screen at the frustration. Let me get rid of this. And do I need to go? Which folders did I create when I copied this over? Did I copy the whole thing over? I'm trying to. When I copied this, I only copied these things. I only copied this into this folder. So all that should be different is this. Relative reference. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got lots of config errors to fix. What user group is fluid running under Pi? I didn't even create the folder. I just copied the contents in here. Let's see. Someone's let me get over here. Pull this up. Right here. LS-L-AT $. Let's look at that, I guess. You need cores enabled, unrecommended in your uncommented in the Moonraker file. You can change the font. Commenting out the config path under File Manager just as a test. Without the @ Oh, LS-L. Hey, Patrick. We've got permissions issues in Fluid because I have a very old install here and I'm being stubborn with not reflashing everything. And I've got lots of people in here that have suggestions, which are not bad. What, Carlos, you want me to do ls-ltr? Here, let's go to ls-l is the same as ll. LL didn't work. Maybe they're not a perm error. Let's go this direction, here, and configuration. Isn't there a sample configuration? And let's save this. Let's grab a default sample configuration. Why is that? Here we go. Let's save that. Oh, pipe. If you don't want to calculate the numbers, you could use go plus W and that stands for add write permissions group and other. Let's open this file. Seriously? Hold on. Plus. Okay. Default basic config basically has nothing. You can create a new file from the Fluid interface. Let's find out. I think that's a good suggestion. If I create add a file. Nope, it doesn't like it. It didn't let me do it. Folder is locked. Okay. Is there any reason why I can't let's try something. Enter data. Let's remove that. Let's just go here and let's go to stream, V2 green. We're here. Let's throw this here. Will that do it? Yeah, it did it. Hey, that's a file that I can edit. That's a file I can edit now. Let's reboot. User pi has permission, but not the user to edit the files. The user pi has permission, but not the user of Fluid Clipper Moonraker. And that's what that Moonraker error is supposed to give, right? Oh, come on. Oh, now Moonraker config is locked. It's the basic config, but it's locked. Oops, I wanted 7125. This is what this is like the funky permissions that Mello has on their default build. What is this? CH own user group file name. What's that, Admiral Adama? Check permissions on the directory you created. It's locked at the directory level. I didn't create a directory is the problem. I didn't create that directory. That directory was already there. Clipper configuration file not located in config folder. Clipper config path, home pi clipper config, printer config. Config folder, printer data config. Is that? Can you show us the directories again, starting from that? Yes. I know. I'll see if I can get a better view of that. ls-l. Actually, someone said pipe. Nope, pipe didn't work. Okay, so that is home. Thunder Keys is right. Thunder Keys said the Clipper config have moved in recent years from Clipper config to printer data config. Yes, it has. And we have a printer data config. Printer data. LL doesn't work. Why do we? Yeah. Could always ask you to the account that Fluid runs under and see if you can create a file. Can you move the putty window just a little to the right? That. I wish you the best. It's quite late here in the UK. No problem. Thanks for being here, Pedro. I appreciate it. Well, use all that stuff, runs in as pi, except services, which runs as root. So printer data, and is that, it's not what I want. Printer data is good, should be 775. So then if we go to, oops, nope. What is the issue we're solving for? We have a very old version of Fluid and Clipper and everything that we're trying to recover. I think Clipper is pointing, how do we change that? If it's pointing at the old folder. All of those are pi. You can symlink the old to the new. What does Clipper log show? I don't know if it's actually doing anything in a Clipper log. So ln-s clipper config printer data config. Do I need to remove that old clipper config folder. Here, let's go here and I'm gonna go back to here and clipper config. I'm gonna grab all of this and directory old config, or let's go config backup. Printer data directory has group write disabled. Let's just make a copy there. Make sure we have a local backup of all this. On the Voron Discord, it worked for Nero. My printer dad config, printer data directory has group write disabled. If I have to, I'll wipe the thing and start over. But I just wanted a copy of my stuff. Let me go in here and figure out which of the half a dozen suggestions are next. Pi host up to date. Could that be why commands that work on other machines don't? I did update the Pi host. Just a link in Discord, no idea if it's relevant, but talks about a script that updates config path. Script that updates config path. And where did you put that? Let's bring this up. Copy link. Let's look at this. Oh. It is fixable. I do know I had to put my Nitehawk in boot mode to load Clipper. All these permissions are bringing back memories, stream chat, hopefully your Discord server. Yeah, it is. Suddenly I'm getting Clipper fluid, Moonraker warnings found, server configuration file. Did the paths. Where was the solution? Also, I'll read more. Solved by running this as of CD Moonraker git pull scripts data path fix. Let's see what that does, because that looks legitimately part of Moonraker fixes. So this one. And is that file here? I don't read more. I read just a little bit and then I do it. And then when it doesn't work, okay, just making sure there wasn't more to read. Data path fix, data path fix. Let's run it. No such file or directory. Why didn't that run? Why didn't that run? You're in the directory. I don't want to be in the directory. Oh. Yep. Thank you. That? I don't know how to... I should already be updated. I should already be updated. I did the // and it didn't run. See? Unable to find log path. Oh. Clipper logs doesn't exist. They're running from Moonraker folder, not sure. It ran. It ran, but it's not able to find the Clipper logs folder. Should that be? Oops, Pi. Yeah, Clipper logs doesn't exist. Well, this is good. I mean, we're something. I don't want to create it here. I want to create it probably here, right? Can I just do this? And then okay. Let's see what this does. You have a log folder though. We have 7 minutes till giveaway time, and I of course haven't hit 200 likes because it takes a special viewer that can put up with this, and I luckily have a lot of them. What's the model of the Meanwell 48-volt PSU you're using? It's an IRM, I think, an IRM series. You liked at least twice. Here's some flavor of special. Running the latest Clipper, latest Pi build is just trouble. I'm still here. Patches are running on my servers. Awesome. Hey, we're gonna hit 200 likes at least. We still have 282 people here. So, hey, projects. What does this look like? Just for, where did I go? Oh, yeah. What does this look like? Oh, a whole bunch of errors went away. Update manager, okay. Hey, I can edit stuff now. Oh, it's checking for updates. Things aren't always easy. Hey, Justin, welcome. Okay. Value at option repo does not match detected repo. Let's go look at the, so I have this, and this is all still old. So let's see if we can edit these now. And am I actually showing? I am not. Let's go. And what was this? What was this supposed to be? Still need to update the repo for fluid. Yeah. What was this? We're here. Sorry, updates, automated, Moonraker config. And this is fluid dash core. I wasn't remembering the dash core part. So, do fluid dash core. Oh, thanks, Carlos. I am going to get rid of the Z calibration crap. And I think that's all. Let's save and restart. It doesn't, oh, yeah, is that, I got a window in the way. I can't see what you're seeing. Yeah, there's no thing there. There's another section for fluid config. Where would there be fluid config? Pedro earlier said that that's not because of the, it might not be there because of the version I'm running. Anyway, let's go back over here. I changed all this, right? Yeah, all that's changed. Let's do a services Moonraker restart. We found something to Crimping Wires Beats. Still gonna watch. We've got 3 more minutes till giveaway. You see, this is what's kept everyone here. We're giving away a Nitehawk Toolhead board and some hot sauce. So this is why I still have folks. As soon as we give this away, it's gonna go. You require the tilde slash? Why? It doesn't say so right here in the instructions. It's not there. It's here under path, tilde slash. I'm here for the hot sauce. Should have a giveaway for how hot is the hot sauce. I think the salsa verde is not. It's a mild, right? Is Garrett still here? Pepper still here? Let's go to updates. Let's see what this says. Pexpeppers.com, David. Pretty good hot sauce. I really like the Pueblo Red. I'm a weakling though. Remote Linux debug is fun. Z calibration is still here, which bugs me. Why is that still there? It makes me think we're still pointing at the wrong thing. You have to enter to win, and the description has links. That bugs me that this is still here. No, but it shouldn't show up here. It shouldn't show up if it's not in the update manager. I deleted that. Z calibration, we went into Moonraker config and deleted. It's not here anymore. So it shouldn't be there. Oh, there we go. You're right. Control F5. Control refresh. Thank you. Now, control refresh took care of that. Repo is untracked. This is a Z calibration thing that I can fix later. That's not a big deal. This isn't going to impact anything. So are we back to, can we actually do some giveaways and then configure the Leviathan? This is fluid. I think we can. I think we're going to do some giveaways and then we are going to configure Leviathan with the idea that if we run into anything, weird, it's probably because of my install, but we worked through that. We are light years beyond where we were when I first hit that update button. So huge thanks to so many people in chat that were helping. This has almost 1,300 hours, Thunder Keys. We looked at that earlier. Or about, yeah, 1,230. None of us doubted you, but 90% of us would have just nuked and rebuilt. Okay, we're going to give away. We're giving away. And then we're coming back. It might go a little longer today because I want to make progress. And I am going to warn everybody right now because we spend all this time, we are going to have mostly 3 seconds today. This is your warning right now. It will be really close to 3 seconds. So if you've ever wanted to actually beat the timer and get in at the last second, today's the day. Let me clear all this stuff. This is special circumstances. We just spent an hour and 20 minutes meticulously troubleshooting a install issue. I don't want to spend the next 20 minutes giving things away, right? So we are going to give away Polymaker filament first, and I am going to close the entries when we haven't had a new entry in 3 seconds. All the links are in the description. If you haven't gotten in by now, you've had a lot of time. It's not closed already. They are open right now. But as soon as I start the countdown, it is not going to be a typical Steve builds 3 seconds. Install issues sounds like my whole year. Now, this is also your reminder, because I will close the other ones after we're done with the Polymaker in sequence as we get through them. Then troubleshooting Linux via YouTube chat is the opposite of meticulous. Then I will be closing those. So I'm starting to count down now. So 3, 2, 1, half, 0. Done. Okay, so let's create that one. So this is Polymaker filament. GJ is on it. You were the first one last stream as well. And Eric In got in there at the end. Oh, Dr. Dave, you got in there like 6th, 5th from last. The wheel is empty. It will not be empty for long. So we are going to, let's get a number between 1 and 10. My creativity is, is strained. So we're going to go 1 and 10. We got to get that engagement spike. You look at the chat graph on my streams, it's like this, and then 2 or 3 hours, depending on the stream, it goes whoop, and then it goes like this. And sometimes it does this if we got multiple giveaways. Or Polar Ted Club member inductees. Okay, plenty. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spin. Who do we got? Who do we got? His ding. Are you here? You must be present to win. You must say something in chat if you are here. His ding. Troubleshooting Clipper, lots of engagement. There was, actually. It'll be a little higher than normal. Everybody frustrated and yelling at their keyboards that I wasn't taking their exact description or their exact suggestion. Are you here? Say something in chat. If you are in the US or Canada, and there apparently something's changed, but I wasn't notified anything has changed. But in essence, you either get a coupon to the Polymaker store or you get to choose from a list of filament, one of those. And you are here. Congrats. Good job. Let me paste this in. We've got Liz and is Zombie here too. Can you tell me, has something changed and nobody told me? Congratulations. You will get an email from me. I'm actually caught up. I did Sundays yesterday. And that is good. You're there. Okay. So the next one, so let's clear this out. We are giving away Hex Peppers, Salsa Verde, hot sauce. That one right there. So this is really good stuff. Garrett makes it himself. I have not tried the salsa verde. It is new. So we are going to close this when we haven't had a new entry in 3 seconds. It is worldwide shipping. One last week on another channel, it was still a form where you put the SKU you want. Okay, thanks, Doom. I appreciate that. So no entries in 3 seconds. We're going to start right now. 3, 2, oh, there's one. 3. Oh, that was the timer. I think I got another one, so we'll start over. There's one right there. 3, 2. Oh, there's another one. So 3. Oh, there's another one. 3, 3, 2, 1. There's right at the end. Just barely got in. 3. Oh, 2 more. 3. See, I said international shipping, and now folks are trying to get in. Just close it. 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay. So GJ, you got some script or something? You got the first one on both of these. And Mark got in right at the end. Okay, well, I picked 6 last time, so let's go a number between 1 and 6. A little pet G in it. I this also 1 and 6. This is Salsa Verde hot sauce, courtesy of Pex Peppers hot sauce. And if you use Steve Builds, all one word, all lowercase, as a coupon on their site, you get 20% off. Let's go easy. 5. I saw Dr. Dave's name in there as I was shuffling. This is not a number. Skyrim. I recognize that name. Skyrim, are you here? This is Pex Peppers hot sauce for Skyrim. Congratulations. Skyrim. You have 1 minute and 48 seconds to say something in chat. No hat? Oh, I'm past the hat. Skyrim. Congratulations. You got called. Uh-oh. Skyrim. Got a couple of bottles of the cherry magma, and it's delicious for the first half second. Then you feel your face. Then you can't feel your face. Skyrim, good job. Well, give it a second here, Skyrim. I may need you to give me a number. Let's see if there's any question in here. Arrow to the knee. Okay, let me just make sure. Let's just search for Sky. Nope, we're good. There's only one Skyrim. There's only one Sky. So I am satisfied with that. Okay, so that one's done. Next, we are giving away an LDO Nitehawk Stealth Burner Toolhead board. So I am going to close that one in 3, 2, 1 now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to close it very soon though. So 3, 2, 1, half. There was one that got in there. I got to do it once, right? 3, 2, 1, done. Okay. I'm going to link this out. Create. So stoke about 3-second instant count. One day. I swear that GJ has a script. You're the first entry in all three of these. Or you're sitting there refreshing before I actually just got the right timing, because there's some time before I enable those and actually post that they're there. Dead Bob, you got in there at the last second. Which Clipper subsystem are we doing next time? Okay. The last one, so we did between 1 and 6. Let's do between 6 and 10. No script, just luck. It's closer to me. I think it's just a matter of having looked at the page before I actually post that it's there. It's got to be. 6 and 10. 6 and 10. Let's go lucky number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and spin. Who has won a Nitehawk Toolhead board? And this will be shipping in April. Planet C30. You just won something, didn't you? You have won. You won what? Was it filament the other day? Planet C. Congratulations. Planet C30. Are you here? You just won something just like 2 weeks ago, right? I don't have a rule. If it became a problem, if it was a regular occurrence, I might create a rule on you can't win more than once in a month or something like that. But there's no rule like that. Good job, Planet C. It is not going to happen enough to be a concern. If you are lucky enough to get your name drawn twice in a fairly short period of time, then that's okay. And in any case, I would want to have that ahead of time be known. So, Planet C, there you are. Good job. Congrats. Yeah, I don't think it's worth worrying about. I just wanted to address it. Awesome. That is pasted in. We are past we are past that. So let's get on to back to the LDO docs for, and which page was it? That one. And I will unpin it. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your patience on that. If I can possibly get freaking my scaling on the windows here is wrong. Where's that? Giveaways, big old link of giveaways. Thank you, Pex Peppers. Thank you, Polymaker. Thank you, LDO, for that. That was fun. Which one was just given away? That was the LDO Nitehawk Toolhead board. Yep. Okay. Here, let me zoom this in a bit. Okay, back here. It is highly recommended to have only the nut Leviathan connected to the Pi during this process. All other USB device should be disconnected. DFU or device firmware upgrade mode allows bootloader firmware to be flash loaded onto Leviathan. The device should be wired as shown and powered on. SSH, press both the SW2 and SW1 buttons at the same time, then release SW1 followed by SW2. Can't wait to install my Nitehawks. Too much business travel. Okay, I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna make sure there isn't anything on here in the way. I'm gonna, oh, the Nitehawk board. There we go. I'm gonna move this so we can look at the bottom of it. Okay. So, should be able to zoom right in on this. And there are two switches in here. Hate to bail right after the drawing, but have to be up early tomorrow. I'll finish watching later. See you, Brent. Circus performance, who can bend in crazy way to set it up. It's not too bad. SW. You have to have, whoa, maybe I'm just tired. You have to have better eyes. So let's do this. Which one? Let me just make sure. Okay, so SW1 is the one closest to the pi. SW2 is the other one. Okay? So we want to press both SW2 and SW1 button at the same time, then release SW1. Which one did I say was closest to the pi? SW1 is closest to the pi. Okay, so I'm gonna get in here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get, okay, non-metallic object to press this with. I don't want to slip. I don't want to slip. I've got a couple of printed parts here. Use tweezers, what could go wrong? Yeah. So this, I may not get a good shot here, but let's see if I can. I've got a couple of printed parts here. This is not the best printed parts. I didn't do that right. Okay, I need something better. I need a toothbrush and the backside of a screwdriver. No, toothbrush is too big. I need the backside of 2 screwdrivers. There we are. Those are slippery. Let's see if I did it. Steve CAD's up a tool to push buttons. That is not a bad idea. You press it on there and then you roll it off. So you just have a T piece that presses and then you can just angle it off and that would do it. We need to go back here and we want to run LS USB and see if we are in, see if we have anything in DFU mode. And we do not. I did not get it yet. Saying towards pi. Fire up the fusion, we need a jig. Let's try this again. This should not be this hard, but I'm also... Let's try that. There we go. I got it that time. See the top line item there? STM device in DFU mode. Shouldn't you power down before putting metal parts close to the controller? This was the plastic backside. This was the plastic backside of these screwdrivers. It has to be powered on in order to put it in DFU mode. So, I really think a little printed part that's shaped exactly right with it, that's just a T shape. You just push it in straight and then just angle it away from the pi and that would do it. So it's in DFU mode. Let's go back to the instructions. Install clipper. Install clipper if it's not already installed using the following instructions. We're not going to use that. We can stop. So sudo service clipper stop. What do you got? Man of the crock. Have a good night. Chopsticks would work well. Yes. Most old forks have plastic tweezers around. That had a different command. I have no idea what this system control stop clipper is. Sudo service clipper stop works. Install catapult. For full documentation, there's catapult. Install git if it is not already installed. It's going to already be installed. Download catapult. So what this command here, and let's see if we can get this visible. So this is going to cd to home and then git clone catapult. Oh, system control is a replacement. Thank you. So that I'm going to have to get used to that command instead of the other. Okay. I appreciate that because I did not realize that. Get rid of that window because it keeps getting in my way. So if we right click that, and that should take us back to, I hope, okay, so this should be here. We have catapult installed or downloaded. Eraser and a mechanical pencil. Settings for USB and okay, and then we are going to do the catapult setup for this. So if we go to CD, and actually, I mean, it's in DFU mode. I should have checked to see if we had a serial device here anyway, but it doesn't matter. We'll follow the directions. Catapult and make menu config. Now tabs for spaces to get out of the editor war. Okay. I'm trying to get this in somewhere where you can see that and that. So, good night, projects. Copy the settings shown in the screenshot. The important settings are, and that's going to be hard to see, but we'll just do it right here. There we are. We're going to change this to STM. It is A446. It is do not build the deployment application, and the clock reference is 12 megahertz. And we are communicating USB on PA 11 and 12. Application offset is 32K. No USB IDs, no GPIO pins. We are going to support a bootloader entry on rapid double click, and we are going to enable the status LED on PE1. PE1. Gotta go to bed early tomorrow. See you, Joe. So I will do what I can to put a timestamp, a link in the video to when we actually started configuring Leviathan. I think of any stream I've ever done, this is probably the one that should have it. So, okay. So then we can quit, queue, and save. And then where else are we? Bootloader will use USB as the interface for both USB or CAN bus clipper configurations. So copy the settings as shown. And press Q, build the bootloader. The output of a successful build should end with this. We are going to skip the settings for the UART interface. I figure the toolhead will be easy. Getting the base fluid clipper was hard. Yeah. I didn't say to do make-j. So part of this is actually going through the LDO instructions. So what does make-j do? I've seen that used in some instructions and some not. Okay, so we're skipping the UART stuff. And then we're gonna flash it. So that finished. It compiles. Oh, multi-thread. Okay. J is threads. Got it. Just happen. Does it? Is it a speed? Does it happen faster? So flash the board. So this is not 2 lines. This is 1 line. Something like this though, with real world troubleshooting and stuff. Sometimes it's one thing that someone may say in chat that will fix something for me in months' time in my printer. So when I'm doing something similar to what we did earlier, it happens. And honestly, in most cases, I also am stubborn on my own. I don't like to reload unless it gets to a point where it's really frustrating. I will do basically the same thing, but the equivalent to suggestions in chat is I'm just doing every search I can, looking for other issues, looking for other posts, and trying to evaluate whether things I see are stuff that I think might help. So, okay, let's go back here, and we are going to, so what we're doing is we're going to use DFU util to the, we should be able to scroll up here, 40, this address here, this ID 0483DF11, it's pretty much the typical one for these STM chips. This command is going to write that out, the catapult.bin. And did this make? Yep. So we should be able to do that. And let's see if this works. Do you ever use the kconfig device name tag for your make command, store your settings for? I do not. I feel like things change often enough that I might as well just redo it by the time I'm circling back to a printer that needs updates. I just redo it. I don't update often enough to feel like that would be helpful. So this is going to wait 35 seconds apparently. Don't change that, Steve. That's a great way of fixing stuff and keeps us engaged. That's the point. Thank you. That's actively the point. Okay, so that completed successfully. So then the output says file downloaded successfully. Resetting USB to switch back to runtime. It didn't actually do that, but, and what is this? For USB interface, verify the catapult is flashed successfully. Press the SW1. The output should show this. So SW1. SW1 doesn't have a satisfying click on it. Let's see what LSUSB says. Says open Moco, but it doesn't say all this other stuff. Someone out for updating right away when there's a new Clipper update. I actually remember the time we ran into this on stream, refer back to them. Yeah. So it doesn't say this, but let's see if we get a serial device. And we do. We get a catapult and see the catapult in the name there. So I don't know the validity of this full showing the STM3 2F up here, but we do get the OpenMoco part at the same address. So I think we're okay. The output should show in the device for USB or UART. Verify the catapult is flagged. Press check the bootloader. Status LED is blinking. I don't know which one that is. Oh, press the. Okay, we're fine. Clipper firmware installation now. Let's go over to. Let's move this up here, and we're gonna go to CD Clipper, and make menu config. And then we're to choose these options. So the same similar thing, STM, processor 446, a 32K bootloader, but a 12 megahertz crystal. My VisiBot has 5 boards that need flashing when there's an update, so having yeah, I can see that, Michael, for sure. One of the things I've also started to do is I'll take a screenshot of this once it's set up and save it in a folder for the printer. PA 1112, and the rest of it's all okay. So let's quit and save. Nice to see CAN getting better documented for Clipper. I agree. The esoteric guide saved me with the Phoenix here. Copies for CAN interface. Clipper must be configured as USB to CAN bus. We're not doing that. So we're going to skip that. And then we're going to build the firmware. Now this is an existing Pi, so I'm going to run a make clean here just to clear out any old files. Hey DeathCube, we're setting up a Leviathan first. And then we're going to make. If I can spell it. Esoterical. Yeah. That was far more detail in setting up CAN. And some of the other files that I've never edited for the CAN speed stuff, the CAN rate. And I don't know if it's just newer ways of doing it or if it's in addition to the older methods I've used before. But in the end, it worked without much fuss. You can make and flash the board in the same command. Wonder why they don't have you do it that way. Well, this is using Catapult. Can you do that with Catapult? It just makes it more robust across multiple Debian variants. Upheld KB3D guide. Search, oh, here. That's done there, but I think this is worth. Let's go esoteric. I just searched for esoteric cracking guide, I guess. But this is this. Let me, and let's go to the root. There we go. That is what I'm talking about. Now we're not following this today. This is not, I just put in that link because it's being asked for. You can make it, thanks, that helps. Okay. That, and we can go back to, which one? That one. So, make, and now we're gonna flash it. So configuration for USB and CAN. Follow the respected step as indicated. Verify the bootloader active. LED should be blinking. The output should have, which no LEDs are blinking. Esoterical file shows more detailed speed info for the connection, and yes. Verify the bootloader active. The bootloader status LED should be blinking. I didn't do anything to tell it to blink, and it's not blinking. What motor current did you end up setting your mellow fly board to on your Tridex? I don't know right now, David. It does not tell me to. These images are broken until I reload. And LDO hasn't, I reported this. LDO wasn't able to duplicate the issue. But if I reload, I can get to the image, it's fine. But what does this say? Bootloader status LED. Yeah, it's, oh, it is flashing. It's just slower. Every time I was looking at it before, it was off. It's just a slow flash. No, it's just a slow flash. I kept looking at it, but I was just glancing at it. It's a caching problem, yes. Okay. The output should have catapult. It did. If not, press the SW on button twice to force it into bootloader mode. And then we are going to... Oh, there we go. We're going to do that command. Enter. Apparently not. What did I miss? Invalid syntax. What did I miss in this command? That's kind of a weird... Oh. Time for me to say goodbye. See you, Kudreth. It will stay in catapult, yeah. Python. Oh, Python 3. Or use the full device path from previous step. That's this, but I've run into the Python thing. Yeah. Does this just need to be Python 3? No. There was some information all the way up here on some prereq stuff. Where was it? Wasn't there? Guide, that was Raspberry Pi. It was already imaged. Similar, if not, please refer to this. Verify. Remove the Clippy and type. You probably need Pi serial. Yeah, and I was wondering if they had instructions here on installing that. The esoteric guide, I believe, does. Getting started. I think there is a Pi serial thing in here. Is there a search? That pip I didn't do an hour ago? Yeah. I think there was a, here we go. Mainboard flashing general info. I'm not using CAN, no. Oh, so this doesn't apply. Okay. This doesn't apply. Right? Does Pi serial need to be installed? Let's go through this. Because I think this will install the Python 3 stuff too, right? Those 3 packages, Python 3, Python 3 pip. Erwin, thank you for the modeling, the umbilical mount. Looking forward to Jared's Galileo 2. Yes, I am too. It's close. Yeah, it won't hurt. Sudo apt upgrade. Don't need the CAN one, but yes on the rest, yeah. And then, so nothing there, and then we run this. Continue, yes. Are you aware you can copy that whole block of commands and paste them and they will run back to back? Yes, yes. I still like to step through them because it leaves less chance for an error, and I know when the error occurs more easily. I'm stubborn and I'm old. I knew I was waiting for Bill to say something. I don't need that part, but I'm going to do it anyway. Does that matter? I don't think I need it. Never mind. If I don't need it, I shouldn't do it. Now, will this other command just work? Nope. So this is not even 50. It's nice that it's going slow for the streams. We'll see what's going on. The Pi hooked up to the Leviathan via serial. It is. It's via USB. Okay. Is this... Oh, I did. That's the command that I had changed, huh? No. I do need the Pi serial command. Is what you're saying? Fine. Oh, it's an invalid syntax error is what we're getting. I'm following the LDO instructions, Jared. Yeah, it's got a syntax error. So what am I doing wrong? Is this correct? Clippy ENV. I know this is Clippy ENV. And then what was it? Bin and Python. Is that even here? Yeah. They're running Python 2. This script requires Python 3. How would I know that? How would I know that? Take out the path at the beginning. Will it just run where it is? And do I need to sudo this? I've already tried to put the Python here. There's Python 3. It does, there's no such file or directory. There was a Python 2 there. Just Python 3, no directory. Okay. Syntax error implies it requires Python 3 to gain the ability to do specifications. And that, oh, okay. There we go. Python 3 is in your path, it'll work. So I think there's probably some clarification that can be made in the instructions there. That is, I bet you that's a big holdup for folks right here. Because, oops, where was I? Clipper here. So down here, oops. Where was I? Flashing Clipper, Clipper firmware testing. Yeah, there's an assumption there. Yeah, there's a poor assumption here, wherever that was. Here it is. Wow, maybe it's up here. Jeez. Yeah. Anyway, that could use some work. So now if we go to the, I didn't do it too long ago, right? There we are. Now we have a Clipper ID. We had Clipper running on Python 2. Yep. Okay. Let's take this since we're here. Let's copy that and go in here, and in my printer config, to replace it. See, this is the SAM 4.8. I used to have that duet board in here. So we're going to replace that. And this is not going to be the Pi Clipper Flash. Don't forget to update the, oh yeah, that's a good call. Save, and close. To flip it back to Catapult, double click on the reset or via the command line. Okay, this is still not going to work because I've got a lot of configuration things to change. Let's talk about that briefly. If we go in here, there is, like, this is legacy from the Duet. So this is Duex. So I had a Duet and a Duex. I'm going to go through this config and I'm basically just going to swap out pins for the Leviathan versus my old Duet setup. I'm not going to do that here on stream. I'm going to do that in between now and next week. I'm still going to look at the Nitehawk constructions because I think we can do those here in just a few minutes. We can get, now that we've gone through all of that, I think we can get the Nitehawk flashed. If we do I have anything hooked up that would matter? I don't believe so. If I go in here and actually do a clipper, start clipper, it's going to give us all kinds of errors. But we should be able to see the board in here, right? Let's see, where does that show up? Where does it show up? We got a Pi 3. Where does it show up in clipper? I mean fluid. I need to perform a restart. Yes. One of the installs sets up a Python virtual environment. It would be nice if the Flash script did the same, set up whatever ENVIA stuff was needed. Here. So I thought we should see our board in here. We would in, I think we would in mainsail. It should, even with errors, we see it in mainsail, but maybe not. Let's go on to the Nitehawk docs. I don't believe it's here. Let's try going to products. See, you don't knock it. And let's see if they're, oh, wow. Maybe home? Products. There we are. Is this in here? Nitehawk. And are there instructions? Additional files? No. So we'll go to another spot. docs.ldomotors.com. We paste once we get there. Voron, Nitehawk was one of the lists here. So let's paste this here. Hey Chris, welcome. Were you here for all that earlier clipper fun we had? Okay, so let's see, where are the instructions? Firmware setup and update. So this is not set up to go, they are not showing how to do this via Catapult. We should be able to do this via Catapult, right? Did you make fire? Kind of the opposite. No, it's kind of the opposite. We were troubleshooting some old clipper update issues, but we got through it. I am going to go through these instructions today. Okay. And then we will look at getting it set up on Catapult later. So I want to, like, once again, I want to follow what's here. To get my Nitehawk to flash, I had to put it in default mode in the instructions. Yeah. Does this, let's see. This is the esoterical guide, and it's not here, but it is an RP2040, so it's going to be similar to most. But let's do this. Yeah, I agree, Brian. The not finding this like you did for the Leviathan on the LDO Motion site is a problem. Reth, we're giving away another Nitehawk board next Tuesday, so don't miss it then. From what I was reading, isn't it done with the STM32 programmer software? No, because it's not an STM32. It's an RP2040. Okay, before compiling the firmware, you need to have a clipper already installed. Log into the Pi and run the following. In the configurator, do this. Before I do that, I'm going to shut this down and plug in the toolhead. Host, shutdown, yes. And then I'm probably going to find out that I need to be plugging it in while it's on and holding a button to put it into DFU mode anyway, but the drum mode instructions are down further on the LDO page. The drum mode, what's drum mode? Clipper make, upload, boot cell, clipper configuration, and FAQ. I thought you were doing the Leviathan. Oh no, I'm past that. We're on to the Nitehawk. So you can get to DFU mode with the Nitehawk powered. Good. In the configurator enable, so let's go back in here and get back onto this. And let's go to Clipper. So I have Catapult on here, but the LDO docs are not updated to use that, so we're not going to right now. Go in here, P2040, and no bootloader, and then the flash chip is that, interface USB. Okay, so the rest of that is fine. You'll find out you need to touch your chin with your heel and read everything in a mirror. So that's that. And then we are going to make clean, which clears out the stuff we did before. And I should have done -J, just because. You do not need Catapult for all USB comms. It's just the bootloader on the device. You can still flash another device in here with just Clipper. All it does is set up an easier method for putting devices into the correct mode for flashing. Out. Catapult is not only for CAN devices. That's why it's not called CAN boot anymore. It's called Catapult. It used to be called CAN boot. Okay, make clean. So this UF2 file was generated, and you see that here. And you can copy this to some directory that can access. If it doesn't work, then try the other. So you can copy this to, so this is the old Clipper config that we were running into earlier, or to printer data. Let's keep looking at the instructions. Because what they're basically saying is how to get this onto your computer. And but we're gonna skip that. We're not gonna use the Clipper make upload. We're going to go down here, I think. Oh, we're not gonna do that. This is a little confusing, because why are we putting this into our config files if we're going to go down here? when you update Clipper on your Raspberry Pi, you may be required also to on your controllers. From time to time. This method is therefore more convenient if your tool board already has Clipper firmware installed. Follow the steps from compiling the firmware. Encounter any connection issues after flashing the new firmware, reboot your computer. So I'm going to pretend that it might have Clipper on it. I'm going to pretend it doesn't. This method only recommended if your Nitehawk does not contain a Clipper firmware already flashed. It requires you to access the boot 0 button on the PCB. Make sure the Nitehawk Toolhead board is wired as it normally should be. Simultaneously press the boot 0 and reset button on the tool board. Then release reset first, followed by boot. Now this one is a little more convenient. Here, let's get this over here. Move this back a little bit. So if we look at this, and we get this out. Okay, there's two buttons here, right next to each other. This one's a whole lot easier. I just got to figure out which one is which first. God, they're so small. Which one is which? Actually, I can't tell. Which one is which? Does it tell us on here? Make sure they're not... This should tell us what boards they are. The LDO docs has the buttons labeled. I'm on the LDO docs. I'm right here. Let's go up. Fine. No, I don't see it. Oh, there. Nope, it's not there. There. Wow. Open that image in a new tab. Oh, boot, there we are. It's down here in the middle, right above all these capacitors. Reset is closest to the back of the printer. Wow. Okay, so let's go back where we were. Simultaneously press boot 0 and reset button on the toolboard, then release reset first. So release the back one first. So what I do here is I just put my fat finger and push them both and then roll my finger forward. And then we should be able to, let's follow these directions now. So it's in, should be in boot mode, but we'll find out if we do. It says if the previous step should paint the reset switch. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, let's go here. If we do ls/dev/sda, it did not. You should see dev sda when executing the command. If not, try repeating this previous step. Okay. Simultaneously, and then reset and boot. Let's try this again. No. I'm not there either. Michael, it says here, when executing the command, ls/dev/sda. Oh. I know why. I know why. I know why. That guy. That's why. See him, Admiral. Now let's do it again. I don't know. It should be able to just work. I might have to reboot. I got an extra device in there that I didn't have before. Yeah. Does that work? Yeah, there's that too. I don't know. Those instructions are very, oh shoot. Those instructions are very unclear. Is it plugged in? Yep. Power, and I don't know why. Try to invite you, Satirical, to a stream. I'd be cool to see the collab for the Nitehawk catapulting. Watching Joel build the Gigastorm in another tab. 5 power supplies. Whew. This is interesting, this little command instructions here, because that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to probably anybody who's reading this. See you, John. Log into if the previous step was followed correctly, you should see /dev SDA1 when executing the command /dev SDA. LS says list those devices, but if I do ls/dev/SDA, it only shows that. But the instructions are telling me I should see SDA1 when I execute this command. I get that it makes sense for those that actually know what this is doing. I'm saying the instructions are frustrating, and I can get exactly why people get frustrated when they're working on these, because if you don't get what it tells you you should get. See you, David. If you don't see what it tells you, it says, if not, try repeating the previous step. If you don't see SDA1 when you do ls/dev/SDA, try the previous step, and you put yourself in a loop here. So I'm not a Linux user, and it's confusing to me. I just happen to know that it's okay to try other things. What do I want to do here? So we're getting that in both. We are getting that in both. If we run SDA1, we get that too. We are going to follow this next bit of the instructions and see what happens. So we're going to copy this, paste that. And then we're going to copy this, paste that. Okay. LSBLK. Yeah, I mean, that's try just. I mean, sure, we can, it's not the point, folks. I'm critiquing the instructions. I'm critiquing the instructions. So I happen to know that I've gone through this and you can get through it, but I'm frustrated with and it's not just LDO stuff. So much of this stuff doesn't consider, it must not consider. I don't know if they're developing the instructions on different hardware, a different version of a Pi. Does it change via the version of the Pi? I get that it's tough to generate this documentation too, because you might have, especially with dealing with like touchscreens, it might be different what you change versus on for your, what is that file? Where you're changing the DT overlay stuff. It might be different just between a Pi 3 and a Pi 4. Oh. So we've suddenly slipped into catapult world. That's not going to work. So we can fix that. It's just Clipper. And then what was the file name? It's just clipper.uf2. And then sudo sync. And then we can unmount it. And there are our two devices. So we have Clipper on both of these now. There aren't two UF2 files on it because I didn't generate the catapult UF2. I never did that. That wasn't part of the instructions before. But it is very frustrating that they have a catapult file name in here and no mention of catapult in the instructions up to this point. So, but at this point, it is set up. We can put both of these into our configuration file and we would see them. We are seeing our serial devices. And end of day frustration. So, but this stuff needs to be cleaned up. This really needs to be cleaned up. Typically, the RP24 will kick out of file system mode as soon as you successfully drop a UF2 file in there. So I don't think you could do two files at once. So, but I mean, once you get past those, the basic instructions are correct. There's just some unclear points in this. If this would have given a little more information, like if you do this, you'd see this, or both scenarios, or maybe the /dev/SDA star or SD star. And then this, if you know that that's actually Clipper we were working on, you can get past it. You said you were having trouble flashing your Nitehawk. Did any of this help with that? If I was doing this on a CM4 booted from an NVMe drive, none of these instructions will work. Some of those rm-r star commands can be deadly. Do it wrong and you're in a world of hurt. There's so much of that though. That's kind of hard. I mean, absolutely, we should be working towards eliminating the need to get into here. But when you do need to get in here, at least have the stuff correct. And we are at 8:12. So this is a long Tuesday stream. I don't like to go this long on Tuesday streams. One, it just kind of eats up my entire night. But that's okay. This was worth it. But I mean, I like to keep them shorter for folks because I am basically at the earliest part, the earliest in the day of my audience. We did have someone from Hawaii here, so I'm wrong, but good point. Any other SBC in these instructions would be different. I think if you're running some other completely different SBC, you're expecting things to be different though too. So yeah, it's 11:13 a.m. there on Wednesday, right? Should be updated at the same time as a software release. This was good. I actually liked, I did like today. It was interesting, but getting through another one, and it happened to be on the same green printer, which is interesting. Getting through something like that, I think is fun. It's good. I wouldn't expect to be different. There's first party NVMe adapters for them. So with that, I think we're gonna go. Thanks again to Polymaker, Pex Peppers, and LDO for the giveaways. Thanks for everybody who stuck around, and huge thanks to everybody who gave suggestions on fixing the Clipper and OS problems we were having before. What I am going to do in between streams is set up the configuration file. That's not going to be effective or useful time to do on stream. When we come back, we are going to, the goal next Tuesday will be to make it move. I'm hoping. There's a little bit of wiring to do and a few things to install, but we will get it to move. But we got these installed. So Sunday, back to the Milo build. Hope to see you there. Otherwise, have a good rest of your week. Thank you again, everyone. Enjoy the build.